Okay, so we're moving on to our blend. And this is a fun extract because we are adding two different kinds of species of bean here. We're adding our Indonesian Sumatra bean over here that is planifolia. And then over here, we're adding our Marquesas Tahitian beans that are Tahitensis. Our Sumatra Indonesian beans have kind of a woody, smoky, earthy. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of a chocolate taste from them. And then our Tahitensis over here from Tahiti, you're going to get a little bit of a fruity, light taste from these beans. And just like coffee beans, vanilla beans taste different in the soils that they're grown in. And so it's fun to add a little bit of the fruit and then a little bit of that smoky, earthy to combine in this unique vanilla flavor.
So we say this throughout our whole book, that the point of this first book was to sort of capture what we knew at the time that we wrote it, but to teach lots of different ways to make extracts so you could like go from there. We want everyone to take what we've done and tweak and change and adjust and come up with your own recipes. And so the point of this recipe is to show and to present the idea that when you have these vanilla beans that all taste so different based on species will make them taste different, but really it's where they're grown that I think has the biggest impact on taste. Mm-hmm. That you can take them all and you can make these flavors that the world has never seen before. Mm-hmm. So more than just what we're doing here, when we made this one, we simply took two of our most favorite vanilla beans, a Tahitian bean and an Indonesian smoky bean. We put them together and we fell in love with it. We're like, oh my gosh, we just created something new. The world has never seen this before. And so that's what we hope that you do, is that you find different blends that you like and make them, try them, and then do the same thing with the spirit that you're using. You might try with a bourbon or try with a rum or try with a vodka or try with a brandy or cognac or whatever, a tequila, and create something new. That's the point here.
And that's why we titled the book The Art of Extracting, because it's your art. You create whatever it is that you come up with. It's so fun.
Exactly. So that's the whole point for the new people that are joining us today, is there's lots of flavors of vanilla beans, and we hope that you explore them all and you use them all and you have a lot of fun making extracts like we have. And this was one of the very first blends that we did, that we had a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
So let's roll.
Basically, it is the same concept as the pineapple. We're doing 1 ounce of beans. We're doing half an ounce of the Indonesian smoky woody and half an ounce of our fruity Tahitensis. And so together, we have an entire ounce. And again, I'm going to tie just a few of these. I want to tie some of my, I'm going to tie maybe 2 of each.
Now, while she's doing that, some people, when they're doing a blended bean, they may tie one, like they would tie all the Marquesas, and then the other ones they would fold. That way, when you take them out, it's a way to remember which ones were the Marquesas. Because like in this case, sometimes the Marquesas are really big. Sometimes they're just more like the planifolia. And so you get all these different sizes. So it's hard to tell them apart sometimes. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you'll knot one kind and you'll cut another kind, or vice versa. Double knot one, single knot another. That way you can tell them all apart.
Yes.
We're not so worried about the distinction between the two. We're just equally cutting some open and equally, as we do almost in every extract, we like that caviar to pour out and on some, and then we save some of the others.
Yeah, so I'm just slicing down the middle. And you don't really have to if you don't want to. I just want to make sure that it all gets in there, because I love seeing all of those specks in the vanilla. Now, everybody does this different. So find which way you like to do it and stick with that. I'm going to go ahead and put in, now I'm using another bottle. I know how, I don't know if you can see the words.
Hard to see
the words?
Yeah, maybe in front of the beans there. There you go. Then they'll come through, sort of.
Anyways, it says Fun with Friends, Galena 2024. And so I wanted to use this bottle, so I know that in 1 year, it was 1 year ago that I got to meet and be with so many of you. And it'll be a nice, fun little reminder of our get together.
That's one of the things that we heard a lot about. A lot of people shared they call them their memorial bottles, where, you know, they get their dad's favorite bourbon coupled with, you know, a favorite bean. And they make things on anniversaries and birthdays and different things to remember people. And there's a lot of truth to that. This extract making, there's this feeling and emotion behind it that's different than other cooking. And so we all now have these bottles around the house that commemorate these moments. Like one of our very first Christmas times, we had someone send us a bottle, and we made that. And that bottle is actually in our book. It's kind of like has a little cameo in a couple parts of our book. But we never get that bottle out without thinking of that Christmas time when our group was just getting started, and we had kind of a group chat going with some of our first members. Many of you are here today. And so there really is just something special about the moment where you make these things and it takes you back, and you see this and we pull it out a year from now, we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, how was that a year ago in Chicago? Anyway, it's well, and I digress. I'm a sentimental guy.
He's very sentimental.
I know. So I love this kind of stuff. It's fun for me. Go ahead.
We're using, this is a very small neck, and you see I'm kind of really pushing it in there. I'm not so worried about getting this out. I'm not adding anything else in here. I do have these chopsticks that not chopsticks, sorry, tweezers, that you can just kind of pull things out with or push them down. But you can also, I know people use chopsticks that they'll push them down or kind of pull them out when you're finished. I think this is a fun bottle to gift or just to have on the counter once it's finished. So this flask bottle is just kind of fun. And that's part of the fun, is finding fun, unique bottles to add to your own unique craft.
Absolutely.
Right?
And so speaking of the spirit that we're going to be using for this one, this was also, we are just filling all of this with memories of Chicago, but someone was nice enough to gift us this. It's a vodka from Greenland. It's a grain vodka, but it's made with glacier water from Greenland, from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, the Kalaalleq Sirmia Glacier in Greenland. And so they use glacier water, they distill it 5 times, I think is what they said. So it's a super smooth, really nice vodka, also gifted to us. So we wanted to use it in the bottle just to, again, kind of commemorate the moment. And it's another, like, I didn't even know this vodka existed.
I didn't either.
It'll be a whole new vodka. It's something brand new that we've never tried before. And this is so much fun for us. So we get to play now and have lots of fun with these things that were generously given to us.
Yes. So I'm going to add 8 ounces here into my measuring cup. You know, like I said, I'm doing half an ounce of the Indonesian beans and half of the Marquesas Tahitensis. Beans come in 1 ounce sizes, so you're going to have a half an ounce left over one and a half an ounce of another. You can make this double fold where it'd be twice as concentrated, and keep the vodka at 8 ounces and wait a year, and it'll be twice as concentrated. Or you could make 2 separate ones and have it be just a single fold. So whatever you want to do there, you can have 2 separate or double the concentration.
Or use the half an ounce and then just use 4 ounces of vodka or spirit in another one. So if you've got a half an ounce of each bean left over, is the point, that can make 2 4-ounce extracts. That can make another blended extract. You could blend them with something else. You can add them to your mother jar. There's a lot of other things you can do with it. And the only other thing I'd say is if you did decide to do a double fold and you wanted to put 2 ounces of the blended, so 1 ounce of each, you just have to cut them up smaller to make sure that they're all submerged. It's harder to have them whole and in knots if you're doing a double fold, unless you have a really wide jar to make sure that they're fully submerged. You kind of have to cut them into smaller pieces to make
very small pieces.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so the next thing is we're just going to add our labeling, and I'm going to put it on the back so I can still see all the cute words. And then a little note that says, when it's ready, taste test on 5/22/25.
There you go.
Just like that. And so we're just going to keep this in a cool, dark cupboard or a pantry or a wine cellar, whatever you guys have. I just put it in a cupboard. Don't put it near an oven though, or a cupboard below or above the oven, because it gets quite warm and you don't want to get it overheated there.
Yep, keep it out of the sunshine. It doesn't like those UV rays, and so you want to keep it shaded, and that's the reason why. Yeah. So easy, right? I am super excited to try this one in a year, and we'll remember the moment. like, I'm really excited. That's a fun one.
Yep.
There's a lot of meaning on that one. Like,
I know,
I love
I can't
it.
wait to.
So it just is perfect. I'm just really excited. So thanks again to all of you for making the moment with us. We appreciate it.